Are you excited for the new God of War Ragnarok video game? Are you curious to see who Kratos might fight in the upcoming trilogy? Well, you've come to the right place to find out. Welcome back to Comets Top 5s, where today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 5 opponents Kratos and Atreus will be potentially smacking down in God of War Ragnarok. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell icon for notifications on upcoming content. With that said, let's jump right into our top 5 picks, shall we? Number 5, Thor. Whether it's in myths, movies, or TV shows, Thor has always been referred to as a mighty warrior, one worthy of wielding the magical hammer Mjolnir. You can't forget he's also the god of thunder, so Kratos might have his hands full when it comes to handling a little thunder and a whole lot of lightning. But let's be clear about one thing pertaining to Thor in the upcoming game. He is not the ripped Marvel version played by Chris Hemsworth by any means. He represents the Norse myths much more closely, especially in appearance. I'm talking about a massive body, long red hair, and he's pretty damn ugly. He is also much more ruthless too when it comes to combat. Thor could have easily picked a fight with Kratos before, but after the murder of Thor's children and brother, this fight became impossible to avoid, and can you really blame him? From the looks of it, Thor is supposed to be a continuing antagonist throughout this installment, but it doesn't look like he is the main one, at least according to the developers. After all, Thor is destined to die during the events of Ragnarok in Norse folklore, so we might actually see what happened with a little help from our dad of war Kratos. We can definitely speculate that Kratos will be the death of this behemoth, but with Sons of Anarchy star Ryan Hurst voicing Thor, I hope he will be a prominent character for this latest installment, at least for part of the game. Number 4, Fenrir. We had to include Fenrir on our list because his extensive lore in Norse mythology, paired with what we have seen in the God of War franchise already, makes him a perfect candidate for a baddie to face off against in the next installment. Originally the son of Loki, Fenrir breaks free of his chains during the events of Ragnarok and kills Odin, only to later be killed by Vidar. Did I mention Fenrir is the brother of the World Serpent? I mean, how could they not have Fenrir make an appearance with all those tie-ins? Now, knowing Atreus had the given name Loki in the realm of the giants in the last installment, I doubt we will see this exact version of Fenrir in the next God of War game, but incorporating a big-ass Norse wolf would be a great addition to the already hyped sequel. Fenrir has been a popular addition to many movies, games, and shows over the recent years. We even got to see a version of Fenrir in Thor Ragnarok. If the sequel doesn't utilize this character, it would be a shame, considering his story primarily revolves around Ragnarok, and that is the focus of this upcoming game. Needless to say, a smackdown between the wolf giant god and the god killer Kratos would be a fight worthy of a sequel, and one I would definitely pay to see. Number 3, Surtur. Surtur is the ruler of Muspelheim and the fire giants, and one of the major characters involved in bringing about Ragnarok. He is the second being born into existence, right behind his brother Ymir. Ymir is considered the only other creature to exist that is stronger than Surtur in Norse mythos. If you need a reference of who Surtur is, just think back to that big fire god in Thor Ragnarok. Remember now? The one who destroyed Hela and Asgard? Yeah, he's not a being you want to mess with. Not only is he super strong as a giant with major stamina, he's immortal and wields an incredibly powerful flaming sword that he forged solely to destroy Asgard during the events of Ragnarok. If that doesn't get you fired up, maybe his ability to control fire will. Oh, did we mention he's a fucking giant too? The dude is so committed to a prophecy he doesn't sleep. He just trains and continues honing his skills. If this is to happen, Kratos will most likely go up against the massive fire giant. Good thing Kratos has killed a giant or two before. All I know is, Surtur is not going to be an easy fight, and we don't want it to be. Number 2, Tyr. Imagine it now. A God of War versus another God of War. That is a fight that I most definitely want to see in the upcoming installment of the God of War franchise. Now from the trailers, it is expected that Tyr will be an ally, and that makes sense due to him being more for peace than war, but for how long will it last? If Tyr wants to stop Ragnarok from happening to save the 9 realms, he may have to put himself in conflict with Atreus, seeing that he is supposedly Loki, aka the father of Fenrir. Why is Fenrir important though? Well, technically he bites Tyr's hand off, and in their final battle, both die at the hands of each other. Depending on prophecy and the order things play out in the game, Tyr can easily go against the team and get his ass beat by Kratos if he attacks Atreus. Or he could have a change in heart and go back to Odin. Well, if he's still alive, because technically Fenrir kills him too. Either way, nicknamed the One-Armed God and equipped with a sword made by the same dwarves who made Odin's spear, this fight would be something to see. Given that both of these characters are gods of war, and that war is their specialty, things are being set up for a grand throwdown between the two. Now we can't have a top 5 list without some godly honorable mentions with this family. Freya. Freya had to make our honorable mentions because they have a bit of history already. Considering Kratos killed her son Baldur, it should be expected that Freya will want to smack down in the sequel. From helpful guide to vengeful opponent, the true Valkyrie Queen will do as much as she can to avenge her dead son, even though Baldur was trying to kill her when Kratos killed him. I know it doesn't make much sense, it's just going to suck when we actually have to fight her, considering she was a kind and caring god to Kratos and Atreus. But that's the fate for anyone opposing Kratos and Atreus, especially if they're a god or goddess. Let's hope she has a change of heart so Kratos doesn't have to kill her in the end. Freyr. I know it sounds like we said Freya again, but I swear we didn't. It's Freyr with an R. Like, are you ready to fight her brother, Freyr? That's right, he is the brother to Freya and the uncle to Balder. Freyr, depending on how they depict him, might be a little upset over the death of Balder, which is typical for gods in God of War. This god of fertility will either be destined to die in Ragnarok like the rest, or choose to side with Kratos in the upcoming battle. Kratos and Atreus have spent some considerable time looking for Freyr in the last installment of God of War, and one could only hope that Freyr does not have the same reaction that Freya did to Balder's death. Otherwise, it looks like another god will bite the dust. Balder. Yes, I know he is dead, but where do the dead go in Norse mythology? Either Valhalla, or they go straight to hell. So, one way or another, we can easily fight a ghost Balder in the upcoming installment, especially with Ragnarok on the way. Let's be real, I don't think Kratos is going to apologize for cracking his neck like a cold one with the boys, so if he does come back, then there is definitely going to be some more conflict. Not to mention, Balder originally came back to life after Ragnarok ended in Norse mythology, so it is possible if they pull some inspiration from the lore. Number 1. Odin. Of course we had to have Odin on our list, as a smackdown between these two would be more epic than the showdown we got to see years ago with Kratos and Zeus. We have already seen him trample over all the Greek gods, and it just makes sense that the Norse gods would be next. The ruler of Asgard not only has immense strength, intellect, and durability, but he is also a spellcaster, often having insane abilities that one could say are broken. I mean, the dude literally has a spear that never misses hitting its target due to the insane rune magic inscribed on it. When you think about it, Odin also gives powers to certain magic items, which are also insane. We see Odin in more than just Norse mythology too. He's made many appearances throughout the years in many films and TV shows, the best of which was his appearance in Marvel as the father of Thor. Although it does appear that in most iterations that we see Odin, he dies. Let's hope that if this death trend continues for the Norse god, the next time we see him die will be at the hands of Kratos. I have a feeling though, if we do see him in God of War Ragnarok, he is going to be one tough son of a bitch to kill. Well, that's our picks for the top 5 opponents Kratos will fight in God of War Ragnarok. What do you think of our top 5? What opponents would you have added or changed? You can let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget, if you want to see more content like this, make sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell icon for notifications on upcoming content as it comes out. As always, thanks for tuning in to Comets Top 5s, and I will see you on our next Top 5 video.